Viewers and subscribers, please subscribe to Saga News TV and give a like and share.
Police have identified two men who were shot dead at Chowtal in Frankfield, Clarendon on Friday. They are 55 years old, Donald Richards, otherwise called Mackie, an auto body repairman, and William Sharp, 38, a construction worker. Both were from Chowtal. An elderly man said to be 70 years old was also injured in the shooting, the police said. Reports are that all three men were at a garage in the community when two white motor cars, one believed to be a Axio, drove up to the location and the occupants opened gunfire at them. The now deceased were hit all over their bodies and the now injured man shot in the shoulder. Richards, the police said, died on the spot, while Sharp and the elderly man were transported to hospital, where Sharp was pronounced dead. The injured man was stabilized and transferred to another hospital, the police said. Detectives assigned to the St. James Police Division have arrested and charged 32 years old man in connection with murder attempt in Amit Hall, St. James on January 27. He is Richard Edwards, otherwise called Chinaman, of Lottery District in St. James. Edwards has been charged with shooting with intent, using a firearm to commit a felony, and possession of a prohibited weapon. Reports are that about 8:45 p.m. Edwards drove to a shop and opened gunfire at a man there. The man escaped and reported the matter to the police. Edwards was taken into custody and subsequently charged, following a question and answer session on Friday, February 2. His court date has been finalized. A man is dead and a firearm seized following an alleged shootout between a gunman and police at Mexico Heights in Trenchtown, Kingston on Thursday night. The dead man has been identified as 22 years old, Orrit Robinson, otherwise called Ash, a promoter from Phase 7 in Arnett Garden. The Independent Commission of Investigation Indicom has launched a probe into the development. Reports reaching news are that around 10:20 p.m. a police team were on foot patrol in the area when they observed a group of men standing along a pathway, acting in a manner that aroused suspicion. The police reportedly called out to them, and one of the men pulled a firearm from the waist of his pants and opened fire at the team. The cops took evasive action and returned gunfire at the man. After the shooting subsided, the said man was seen lying on the ground, suffering from what appeared to be gunshot wounds and clutching a firearm into his right hand. The police said the firearm was retrieved and turned out to be a 9mm pistol with a magazine attached contained one round and another round in the breech. The make and serial number of the firearm were not visible. The injured man was rushed to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead, the police said. Swift action by detectives at the Kingston Western CIB resulted in the arrest and charge of a suspect 1 week after a murder, charged with murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, and unauthorized possession of ammunition, and making use of a firearm to commit a felony. Is Dequan Scott, 24, from Hill Crescent, Kingston 7. Scott is charged with the murder of 24-year-old Mark French from East Road in Kingston 12. French was shot dead near Culture Yard on 1st Street in Trenchtown on January 31. Reports are that about 10:45 p.m. French was standing at the location when he was approached by three men, all armed with firearms. The man, police said, opened fire at the now deceased, hitting him several times. Scott fell to the ground and the man fled and escaped into the area. Police who rushed to the scene took Scott to the Kingston Public Hospital, where doctor pronounced him dead. Following investigation, detectives held Scott and charged him on Wednesday based on witness statement and after he was positively identified on identification parade. A businessman was shot and killed by gunman in York St. Thomas on Thursday. The deceased is 42 years old, shop and bar operator, Delvin Hills, alias Short Boss, of Shantytown, York, in the parish. Reports are that about 8:30 p.m., residents of the community heard loud explosion and alerted the police. On their arrival, Hills' bullet-riddled body was found inside his business establishment. He was transported to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing into the development. Two police officers assigned to the Morgan Bridge police station in Grange Hill, Westmoreland, received injuries when a 17-year-old boy escaped, eluded them on Friday night. He has been identified as Denarto Brown of Big Bridge in the parish. It is unclear what offence Brown was picked up for, but the news understand that the teen is still at large. Reports from the police are that on Friday night, two police officers were on station guard duty, and when one of the officers was in the process of removing a male from the cell, Brown and the other two prisoners pushed the man into one of the lawmen, causing him to fall to the ground. In that moment, Brown took the opportunity to escape. He ran out of the cell, made his way up a flight of stairs at the station that leads to the upper floor of the building before making his escape over a fence at the back of the station. Two other prisoners who also attempted to flee during the melee were caught by the officers. They were subsequently returned to their cells. The incident has left one district constable nursing injuries to his back on the right side of his eye. Meanwhile, the other officers received injuries to his right wrist, the police said. A search of the area was conducted by the patrol team. However, Brown was not spotted. Investigations are ongoing